So this is a brand new development in Dripping Springs, and look, available, available, available. How much trouble are builders in right now? Well, the builder confidence level just hit 43, which is no bueno. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Today what we're gonna do is go through the new build starts, what's happening with new build. We're gonna go through the price cuts. We're gonna go through the incentives. We're gonna go through everything, what builders are facing right now. Because guess what? Builders are starting to see the trouble of these rising mortgage rates, so here we go. First off, let's start with builder permits. Now, we keep hearing that over the last few years, builders are building more and more and more, but some new stats actually show builders are starting to build less. Now, what is the reason for that? We've seen prices go up, right? So the cost for builders to build a home has gone up. The labor cost has still gone up. And for all of the shipping issues and supply chain issues, while supply chain has gotten better for some of these builders, the cost to build homes is still pretty high. Look, the national average to buy a home is under $500K, it's $439,000. But for builders to build that type of home is really hard to do. Let me give you an example. Right now, new construction in the Austin area makes up 28% of the overall inventory on the MLS, 28%. But it actually equates to over 50% of the current homes under contract. So what does that mean? It means that more buyers are still flocking to new construction. And we're gonna talk about why that is. Let me show you the stats on that. Building permits for May were at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 3.8% below April's rate, and that's 9.5% down below May 2023. So what we're seeing is builders are pulling back based on everything we're seeing in the economy. Also, privately owned housing starts in May were at a seasonally adjusted rate 5.5% lower than they were for April, and 19.3% where they were in May of 2023. So basically, housing starts are coming down pretty drastically compared to 2023. If we remember, builders were still building up. That's why we still have so much inventory in the Austin area. But not too long ago, new construction actually made up 30%, and now it's way below that. Also, we should know that housing completions in May were seasonally adjusted below 8.4% below the revised April rate, and that's 1% below 2023's rate. So again, new construction is starting to slow down. Now, again, like I keep saying, it's because of all of these reasons. Now, if we go back to the builder sentiment, what the builder sentiment is how the builders are feeling in this market right now, right? How we're feeling. Well, the feeling at the beginning of the year was at 50, and now it's down to 43. The Fed was like, hey, we're gonna cut rates three times to 5 times this year, and all the builders were excited, and they just steam-piled and kept building. Well, now that rates are slowing down, or have not come down, and we may only reduce once because look, we're at full employment still. Like that's the biggest problem is we need more unemployment to bring down the CPI numbers, yet it's still harder for builders to build. It's still costing them more to build. Now, you would think that this is all good news, and it is good news because let me tell you something that's really happening. These builders are now facing price cuts. Now, if we look at the market as a whole, we're seeing like 36% of homes are price reducing in a month. Well, builders are having to use that same tactic in order to get more sales. So what does that mean? 29% of builders cut prices in June to bolster sales, the highest share since January 2024, 31% and up from 25% in May. The average price reductions held steadily at 6% for the 12th straight month. So besides price cuts, what else are builders doing to drive sales? Because I can tell you right now, our buyers, when we're looking at resale, right? Because if you're a home buyer right now, you're going, do I buy new construction or do I buy resale? And if a builder is using incentives like this, where they're offering 4.99% interest rate, they're offering a ton of incentives, well, you're gonna go that direction. Prime example, the neighborhood we're standing in right now, I'm not gonna disclose it, but it's a Dripping Springs neighborhood. We actually just got $60,000 off the price and a bunch of incentives for a client to be in this neighborhood. We have a client that's going into Wolf Ranch up in Georgetown. They get over $100,000 of incentives to buy in that community right now. Previously in Sweetwater, we just had a client get like 75,000 below plus a ton of extra incentives. So these builders are using incentives. In fact, the numbers look like this. The use of sales incentives rose 61% in June from 59% in May, the highest since January 2024 at 62%. So that's a ton of incentives that builders are having to give in order just to get people to buy homes. But look, in Austin area, like I said, almost 50% of the sales right now are because of builders. So builders have a major advantage right now, but they're having to give up so many incentives. Is it actually worth it? And are they still making money? That's the big question that we should be asking ourselves. Because look, the builders, we've seen the builders are slowing down on how much they're building, right? They can't make an affordable product. In a second, we're gonna drive through the neighborhood and show you all the product in this neighborhood alone. And then we're gonna talk about like actual affordability. But let's talk more about some sales first. After a solid start to the year, seasonally adjusted new home sales cooled in both May and early June, according to Zonda's new home market update. The recent sales dip isn't linked to any single big event. The housing data provider attributes the shift to persistently high housing costs, buyer fatigue, cautiousness ahead of the election, and mortgage rates. The past 4 years have shown a consistent underlying demand for housing, demographics, evolving consumer preferences, and lifestyle shift are creating a substantial pool of potential buyers. Housing affordability combined with outside factors like challenges in the Fed speak, president elections, and sensational news articles, however, can introduce choppiness in the fundamental demand, causing temporary fluctuations in buyer confidence in the market activity. May was the lowest month for builder confidence this year, according to Zonda. Only 33% of home builders said demand was on track with expectations, down from 50%. This means that prices fell year over year across all price tiers, down 1.6% for entry level to $333,000, 1.1% move up to $522,000, and 3.03% for high-end homes down to $912,000. So I think reports like this from Zonda really do show that there is starting to see a weakness even in new construction. Builders are less confident. What can I say? Yet, I think this is still the opportunity to take advantage of builder weakness. Now you're gonna say,
Jeremy's a realtor. Jeremy's telling people to take advantage of builders. Are always a good time to buy.
no. It is time for you to buy. If that's the case and you are looking, new construction is definitely still the place to go because all the incentives you can get. Look, I talked about incentives a little bit, but if you can get a 4.9% rate, when are we gonna see 4.9% rates in the near future? The Fed is saying that we probably won't see anything under 6% until 2026, really. So if you can get under 5%, if you can get a ton of incentives, because look, you're still worried that, hey, prices are gonna come down, right? Because maybe there's weakness, but we've only seen prices go up again this year. In a year where everybody thought Austin was gonna see price declines, the city of Austin is up. But if we actually look at where affordable homes are in the Austin area, they're not even anywhere close to Austin. That's why when we look at areas like Williamson County is down 1% year over year. We look at Buda is down 2.5% year over year. We look at Bastrop's like close to like 4% down, and then Caldwell County is down 5%. If you look at the areas around Austin where all the new construction is, where more affordable homes are, you're seeing prices come down a little bit. And why is that? Builders are giving so many incentives to be in these areas, and that's where affordable housing is. Let's take a look at this neighborhood right here. So this is a brand new development in Dripping Springs, and look, available. On this street right here, there's probably 30 available homes. So builders, I think, are gonna start seeing a lot of problems. So literally, like, we were just driving, trying to get some B-roll to show all the lots. You would think new construction like this, when a builder rolls out, they typically pre-sale. I don't think I've seen one home in this new section. They have homes like past stick frame, almost completed. We were in one earlier that was pretty completed, we were shooting in, and it still shows available. That's not good. Like, I would imagine that you're gonna see a lot more price reductions in order for people to buy in here. I don't know, you tell me. It's wild. If I look at homes under 400K right now, none of them are even, for new construction, none of them are even close to the Austin area. They're in Kyle, they're way out San Marcos, they're up Liberty Hill, there are a couple maybe in Pflugerville, but they're all way east, they're all way north and way south. So to get affordable homes is still a problem in the Austin area, especially for builders to build those. But look, that house is almost built. Like, it's getting pretty close. Available, available, available. So these builders that have had these big neighborhoods and we're expecting all of this major like movement, right? Back in 2020, we thought, oh, we're just gonna keep building, it's gonna be great. 2021, actually more 2021. 2021, they're like, let's buy more, build more. You got Toll Brothers building like crazy out here. You got David Weekley out here. Yeah, this may not be that good for some of these builders who have been building for all of this time, and you're gonna get caught up with all this extra inventory. I imagine you're gonna see, just like we showed you in that video of the housing issue where that whole development went out, we're probably gonna see a lot of these developers have to unload some of these lots that they bought. What do you think? Jeremy Knight, the Night Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Thanks for stopping in, and you can't stay here anymore, but maybe you should subscribe or like and comment. All of those things. See you next video.